before you ask yourself, no, this is not clickbait, and no, you are not in the arms of Prometheus' realm in his veil. You are not dreaming. This is actually happening. Dragon's Dogma is actually here with us. The Lord God in an almighty heaven, who dwelleth in the skies, came down upon us and delivered us this beautiful jewel that we have been waiting so much time for. And it's actually finally here. It's happening. Are many of you guys out there that were actually dubious about this, that didn't actually have faith in the babblings and ramblings of RPJames? And I told you guys that it would come a time in history where you would come to me and say, hey James, well fuck dude, you were right. Dragon's Dogma was actually there, and it is actually there. This thing that you're seeing in the screen right now is just music, goddamn music to my eyes. If you aren't aware of this, Capcom nudes got leaked and published and made public a while ago, and while there wasn't anything juicy for us lovers of the Dragon's Dogma franchise, the whole information data wasn't actually leaked with that happened a while before. And the people actually fabricating this leak were out there saying to Capcom, hey dude, give us some greenies, some coins, some pesos, some monedas if you don't want us to publish the whole thing. And Capcom said like, we do not engage in this kind of practices, we do not parlay with terrorists. And they were like, well dude, you're lost. And they may publish those nudes, those juicy nudes, and it was pretty much Capcom in their underwears with Resident Evil stuff, some codename projects, Monster Hunter thing, contracts with Sony PlayStation, and something that I have never heard of in my life that goes by the name of Google Stadia. Don't know if you know it, don't know if it makes sense to you, doesn't make sense to me, but anyways, let's continue with the video. And in a previous video that I have in this beautiful merry old channel, I said that all of the information wasn't actually leaked in there. They were waiting for Capcom to actually parlay and to pay them some ransom in order to actually keep this information secret, and Capcom they didn't still bend the knee. So they decided, you know what? Let's publish some more stuff, and in that stuff we have this beautiful thing of Dragon's Dogma and a whole lot of bunch more titles that are out there, but the ones that interest us in here is pretty much Dragon's Dogma, dude. It's a dream come true. We are here, guys, finally discussing Dragon's Dogma actually confirmed. It is confirmed. No, just let's take this with a little bit of a sodium take, like always, because in this channel we always like to stay transparent. I had a dream once, and I wanted to give you guys news. There are some guys out there, some of you that actually watch my content, my news, and if you have been following my content, you know that I always like to source my stuff, to do some more digging in information about this stuff that we actually source. I always like to stay as transparent as possible with you guys in the things that we're discussing here, and we are going to treat this thing the same way. We don't actually going to stay with just this leak that we have in here. We're going to try to add a little bit more of legitimacy to this thing. Usually I don't upload this many videos in one midweek. I just upload one gaming news video, but I was at work doing my research stuff about video games, and I caught wind of this, and I came home, and I always like to give you guys the information and the news just right out of the oven, fresh and smelling beautiful. Me not that much, because I didn't have time to actually get from work, take a shower and get comfy to actually record this thing, but nevertheless, let's talk about this. Now, in some of my other videos about other games, I like to make some research about the companies and how do they handle their titles, their timelines for release dates, and the history of the companies, like I made in the Kingdoms of Amalur 2 video, which that's still a possibility. Go watch that if you haven't already, if you're interested in Kingdoms of Amalur. But let's place our feet in the ground. Let's take this information objectively, and let's ponder for a moment. Let's imagine that this thing is just someone taking advantage of the situation of Capcom actually leaking, getting their stuff leaked. And there might actually be some troll in the internet saying like, it's a nice time to mess around with RPJames and to make this leak so that he would get hype and he would get the dudes that actually watch him hype as well. It is a possibility, but let's try to take that away. If we take a look at how Hideaki Itsuno title managements of timeline for his games, his thing looks pretty legit. Now this timeline that you have in the screen right now, it's pretty much from 2005 from onward. In 2005, Hideaki Itsuno was the game director for Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening. After that, he was director of Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, director of Devil May Cry 4 in 2008, after that, director of Dragon's Dogma in 2012. After that, he was director of DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. He was supervising director for this one, but he was actually the director for Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition in 2015, and in 2019 he was the director of Devil May Cry 5. Now what of all of this rambling and babbling tell us, James? What are you dwelling too much in this stuff? Because if you take a look at that, the release management of his titles follow a release window of 3 to 4 years, mostly focused on 3 years. Take a look at this picture that we have for the leak of Dragon's Dogma, beautiful Dragon's Dogma 2. DMC5 happened in 2019. Dragon's Dogma 2 is set to be released in 2022, in the second quarter of it. And if someone actually make this thing as a trolling stuff, it took his time, because there's a whole lot of other titles in there that I wouldn't be surprised if they have the same degree of accuracy that we have in this one. Furthermore than that, we know that Dragon's Dogma 2 was actually in the table discussion. Hideaki Itsuno brought it to Kenzo, and Kenzo said like, develop it, dude, make it happen, make whatever one you want to make. He then decided to make Devil May Cry 5, but Dragon's Dogma is the favorite son of Hideaki Itsuno, and he has been working on his next big project for over more than a year right now. And take a look at this, it's just connect all of the dots together. This thing is legit, looks legit. We are finally here with RPJames discussing Dragon's Dogma 2. For those of you guys that believe in all of my babblings and ramblings, you better be sure that I am going to keep updating you about this stuff. I'm going to keep you in the up top of the news and information about all of these updates. And if you haven't subscribed already, then you know by all of this that you can trust me. I have been babbling and rambling about all of this stuff for quite a while, and by the looks of it, it's legit. It's happening. Consider subscribing if you have the need for more news and updates and leaks and diggings of information about RPG games. With that being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers. Don't you ever forget that each and every single one of you little people watching RPJames, beautiful people. See you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll see you later.